Hi guys, my name is Nick Kolyohin. I'm correspondent with the international news agency, and today I'm trying to do something new and to read for you my latest feature because I noticed that many people like me sometimes don't have time or power to read stories anymore, and we prefer to consume our news by listening or by watching news. So I will do the work for you, the hard work of reading my latest story. But if some of you prefer the traditional way, I will also add a link to my story below so you can read it. So I will start with the headline: SuperMeat to go global with farm-to-fork cultured meat manufacturing facilities starting 2022. Israeli cultured meat food tech company SuperMeat said it endeavors to open the first commercial farm-to-fork facility in 2022 in the United States, followed by more places in Asia and Europe. It will be the first step of the company to showcase its novel products worldwide, while the main goal of SuperMeat is to set up joint ventures with world's leading traditional meat companies to sell cultivated meat in supermarkets across the world. Ido Savir, CEO and the co-founder of SuperMeat, said in an interview that his company is looking, pending regulatory approval, to start rollout products to market and in food industry by the end of 2022. We are providing the world's largest protein manufacturers for the first time access to the market that will reach 25 billion US dollars in the not too distant future, stated Savir. Nowadays, restaurants obviously are not producing meat on their premises, but with the innovative technology of SuperMeat, it is possible to grow meat in-house in fermenters directly from animal cells. In a fermentation manufacturing process, meat fermentators will be fed with plant-based ingredients in a few hours, will be full of ready-to-eat meat. Since November 2020, SuperMeat pilots first of its kind farm-to-fork restaurant that serves a chicken menu based on meat that was cultivated on site at a sophisticated futuristic kitchen. Instead of cash, SuperMeat asked its guests for a detailed review of dishes that were served. Until today, the company arranged about 1,000 events, each time adding new options to a menu. In the last event on June 18, 2021, business-to-business cultivated poultry pioneer SuperMeat unveiled its manufacturing platform that will allow for the first time incumbent food industry global players to be at the forefront of the emerging cultivated meat industry. SuperMeats is the first B2B cultivated meat company to address the entire category of poultry meat, from fat to muscle and anything in between, Savir said and added. As we demonstrated at the event, the versatility of the SuperMeat platform will allow our partners to produce a wide variety of poultry meat applications and introduce them to their target markets. The event showcased a variety of meat applications such as Vietnamese spring rolls containing 100% cultivated muscle, a crispy chicken burger containing a 50% composition of muscle and fat, and even pet food containing 30% cultivated muscle and connective tissue. The restaurant is called The Chicken and is located in the small city of Nes Ziona next to the central city of Tel Aviv. From the outside, it looks like another building in the high-tech industrial area of the city, which is called Park of Science. In the middle of the restaurant, there is a long glass wall behind which guests can see how their chicken burgers and spring rolls are prepared by scientists of SuperMeat. In the case of the chicken restaurant, pilot restaurant, I must say, Paul McCarthy's famous quote, "If slaughterhouses had glass walls, everyone would be a vegetarian," is not relevant anymore. One of the guests at a recent event in the restaurant in the middle of June 2021, Annabelle Silver, said, "I have been vegetarian for 2 years now. Meat is something that I never thought I would try again. So just to have this experience was unbelievable. The chicken was amazing." I think this thought of meat growing in the lab can be kind of daunting, but once you try it, maybe you will change your mind, and also the aspect of it being cruelty free 100%. I became vegetarian because I don't support the meat industry. I know what goes on in the slaughterhouses. This is just such an ethical way to eat meat, stressed Silver. Another diner at the event, Freja Forsland from Sweden, said that cultured meat is the future. I would like the meat industry the way it looks right now. So if it could turn into cultured meat only, I would be all for it. This is what I would eat. Levana Schiffman, executive director of the Modern Agriculture Foundation, said that the alternative protein sector in Israel is a rapidly developing young ecosystem with a vigorous entrepreneur activity that is based on solid scientific and technological foundations. Israeli authorities and its former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu embraced this emerging industry, stating that Israel will promote alternative protein innovation due to its importance for humanity. Israel, according to some estimates, has one of the highest percentages of vegans and vegetarians populations across the world. About 15% of Israelis don't eat meat, which can explain such a surge in the cruelty-free food industry. As of today, there are over 100 companies that are developing alternative protein solutions in Israel. At least 5 of them is cultured meat and milk, a number that is higher than any other country except the United States, which makes Israel a world leader in this field, according to Schiffman. Thanks to the new technologies, for the first time in history, we can precisely control the process of food production with no dependence on industrial animal agriculture. Israel is at the forefront of investment and development in this field. Investments in companies that develop meat have grown 8-fold in the last 2 years. By 2030, these alternative proteins are expected to be 10% of the worldwide protein market, noted Schiffman. The last decade has seen the emergence of multiple technologies aimed to create a more robust and sustainable food system, from AI and 3D printing to precise fermentation and vertical farming, I must say. Driven by our growing need to strengthen our global and local food security, I believe one of the biggest trends we will see is the convergence of these technologies into local, sustainable, and transparent manufacturing facilities, noted Savir. Schiffman estimates it will take a few years to achieve approval to sell cultured meat in Israel. In the meantime, Israeli companies can offer testers free degustation menus or go global as SuperMeat by striving for faster regulatory approvals in other countries like the United States. This is all. So if you liked my feature, I would appreciate thumbs up, and see you in the next episode of me reading my stories to you watchers that prefer to watch, listen, and see me instead of read the news. So thank you very much. Very appreciated. Bye.